What's up, guys? We have some NASCAR news to go over today. It was announced today that Ally Financial is extending their contract for sponsorship of the number 48 Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet through 2023, 3 more years. This really helps out Jimmie Johnson, and I'll tell you why later in this video. It was announced that Jimmie Johnson has a contract through 2020 in that 48 car for Hendrick Motorsports. After that, he wouldn't have sponsorship because that's how long Ally Financial's contract was with as well. So, now that Ally Financial has signed through 2023, this will probably give Jimmie Johnson a better chance of staying in that number 48 car either through 2023 like Ally, or if he wants to retire before that, or if he wants to go longer and maybe Ally even signs an even longer extension. Who knows what would happen there, but this really helps Jimmie Johnson like that because it allows him to have more of an option to be able to stay longer than what his contract currently is, and that's through 2020. And that might have been the end of him. So you never know since Lowe's left after the end of last year. Now, Jimmie Johnson missed the playoffs this year. He never won a points-paying race this year. Obviously, he didn't get in the playoffs because of that, but he did win the Clash, the first race of the year at Daytona. It's not a points-paying race. It's kind of like an all-star race for Daytona, and he won that. And that was the first race with Ally, and that really helps. And Jimmie Johnson says he's not done. He does not want to end his career like this, and that means not winning, not making the playoffs, not winning his 8th title, stuff like that. And, you know, I completely understand Jimmie Johnson, because if I were him, I wouldn't want to be the 7-time champion that died off, faded away, and then retired because he faded away, didn't have enough sponsorship, and stuff like that. But now that Ally's signing on for longer, he's going to have the sponsorship, and it seems like Jimmie Johnson's final sponsor whenever he retires will most likely be Ally Financial now, since they're signing on for such a long time, and Jimmie will probably be there the whole time, or time with them in that gap between now and 2023. End of 2023, so stuff like that. And we have a little bit of other news going on. It was announced, I guess, 2 days ago. It's about kind of the aero package for the Cup Series for next year. It's basically the same, and NASCAR made some minor rule changes, including the road crew members. They're lessening that from this year. It's 12. Next year, it can only be 10. Now, they're not shortening the pit crew at all, like they did this year, and I think the year before it was like 7 to 6 or 6 to 5. So all of that is mainly to cut costs from smaller teams and maybe equal the playing field, so they don't have to spend that much money on, you know, having all these crew members, and also kind of saving costs as well. They are limiting the amount of time you could spend in the wind tunnel next year to 150 minutes. It's way longer this year, pretty much all the time you want. And that'll allow like the great massive teams to not completely make their cars completely perfect by spending hours upon hours and upon hours, or 150 hours next year, hours upon hours, you know, in the wind tunnel, making their cars perfect. So now that'll kind of equal the playing field, and plus save some cost because some of the smaller teams can't afford to be in that wind tunnel week upon week. And also kind of saving costs next year, they'll probably have a spec, or 2021 with the Gen 7, it seems like they'll have a spec chassis made by Dallara, which makes the chassis for F1 and IndyCar, and that'll save money for the small teams since they don't have to make their own chassis for every race and all that. So that'll be good. They'll all have basically the same chassis, spec chassis. That's what that means. Just like in the truck series, they have spec engines. So yeah. So thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this, and yeah, thanks for allowing this channel to grow to the point it has. I really appreciate that, and yeah. So thank you so much, and Flex Tape fixes everything. commented, I hope next year for Darlington, the 32 will do a Ricky Craven tied throwback, whoever the 32 is next year. Yeah, I think it might be Cole Custer, or maybe LaJoy will stay. So thanks for Flex Tape Fixes Everything for helping the channel grow as well. So thanks for subscribing, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that like button. So thank you so much for watching, and bye bye, guys.